Next part, climate ID. Okay, so climate ID is something I made up, and in your template you will have a page about climate, and you can look at climate at all possible locations in the world. And there's obviously going to be one that is going to be loaded by default when I open the page. And so what I mean by this ID is the number that I specified for the location. And what you do is you click this page link, which will basically take you to my site, mediatemplate.com. And here I see the various locations. And if I zoom in, more, you will see these points. So these are the available locations. Now you might not find one that is directly in your town, so you just want to find the one that's closest to you. So in my case, there is one for Brno, but if I was, for example, if I lived somewhere here, I would have to choose this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one. In this case, I would probably choose this one, but if I lived here, I would choose Prague. Now, how to get the ID is easy. You click that link here, and you click select. That will select the town. It will show you the climate for that town. Again, this is part of your template, but for now, what you're interested in is this number here in the address bar. And here we see it's 752. It will always be a number between 0 and 10,000. So in this case, 752, that's what I would enter here, 752. Okay. Station warnings. Now, in this page, you can specify warnings. And what that means is that, okay, let's go to my site. Let's look at the demo. And here, the warnings are displayed here, and you see that I just happen to have one here. And here you specify some sort of threshold for various parameters, and if that threshold is exceeded, it will show a warning here. And because I have on my page here, I specify the low temperature warning as -5 degrees Celsius, and because it's now -6.6, it's nice and chilly here right now. It shows me that low temperature warning -6.6 degrees Celsius in the last 30 minutes. So this will always look at what was in the last 30 minutes, and based on that, it will show a warning. Now, what warnings are available? We have one for. So first of all, you want to check if you want to enable this at all. If you disable this, it will simply never appear there. Then you select the interval. So this is the interval that the script will look to the past. So, okay, so for example, for the wind, we select the high wind speed warning. So this means that the warning will show up if the wind speed was higher than this. So if I put in 50, and remember that this has to be in the database units, the ones here. So if you put in 50 here, then I have my database set to kilometers per hour. So here we select the interval, and in this case it's 30 minutes, but I can change it to say 20 minutes. If the wind speed in the last 20 minutes exceeded 50 kilometers per hour, I would see a wind warning here. It would have a different icon. It would be the wind icon here with this triangle, and it would be displayed here. And if, for example, I had my temperature warning and wind speed warning, and they would both be relevant at the same time, there would be another icon here, so you would see both. So it can show more than one. So again, here you have one for temperature, high temperature warning, low temperature warning, high wind speed, heavy rain warning, and this uses the rain rate. So if the current rain rate in the last 20 minutes was above this, and this is per hour, then you will see a warning. And this is solar radiation. Again, if you don't have a solar sensor, just leave this as it is. Station alerts. This is what I was talking about previously. This allows you to set a notification to be sent to your email if your station is detected as offline. So first, we want to see if we want to enable this or disable this. So if we disable this, you can just ignore it. If we enable this, then here you specify the interval. And what this interval means is it's the interval after which your station will be considered offline. So if I set this to 60 minutes, it means that if the script detects that there is no new data in your database in the last 60 minutes, it will send an email. And this is the email address that it will use. And again, as I said previously, here, the test email function. If this did not work, then this will also not work. So you might want to make sure that if you want to use this, you must try that test email function and see if you get an email. One more thing, in order to prevent this from triggering every time it tries to update your database. So let's imagine that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, your station goes offline. So at 3 o'clock, this would trigger because it would say, aha, last record in the database, 2 o'clock, it's now 3 o'clock, so we send an email to this address. Now imagine what would happen. After 5 minutes, another update of the database is triggered, and there is again no data, so the database is not updated. But the script would think, okay, well, no updates, so another email. Now this is obviously not what we want. We don't want an email every 5 minutes. So after an email is sent, in your control panel, which I will show you later, there will be a reset button, which you have to click. And until you click that, if you get an email, if it sends an email here, and you don't click that reset button, then there won't be any more emails until you reset it. Services. Now PayPal, this is for, there is one block on your homepage. You can insert the PayPal donation button. So if you have a PayPal code for that button, you can just put it here and it will insert that code there. Darksky.net, this is a page that is used for the forecasts. So it's free, but you need to get an API key, and here is a link. So just follow the instructions on that link, and you will create a profile. You will be able to generate a key, and you will enter that key here. And it's free, but you need a profile. And here it says specify the language you want to be used for that forecast. Again, these are basically different services. So you just put in the API key that you have for those services. However, in case of WU, you use your Weather Underground API key. And Eris and World Weather Online, I guess I should have deleted these. Unless you're using some media template version lower than 10, you can just ignore this. And so here is your Weather Underground ID, which would be like, I don't know, in my case, it would be this. So this will be my ID for Weather Underground. If you send data to Avecas, again, you'll have some sort of a number. It looks like this. If you're using to CDOP, it would look like this. Weather Cloud, Weather Met Office. Those are different API, and those are not necessary. If you're not sending data to these, if you don't have a profile of Weather Underground, just ignore this, leave it blank. And gauge limits, there's a page which shows current values in a formula gauges. So you select the limits for those gauges. So you might want to make sure that this is slightly above and below of what is realistic at your place. Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a service provided by Google for free. And if you want to track your website traffic, and you can then show all sorts of graphs and maps and which pages were the most visited and all that sort of stuff. It's like a page counter, but it's not a visitor counter that would be on your page, which is something that, again, is not recommended these days. It will be for you as a webmaster and will show you detailed statistics. It's all basically done by Google, but if you enter your code here, the template has all these scripts built in, so you just enter your code here, and if you do that, it will track your pages. So if you have that profile, you enter it here. If you leave it blank, it's just going to be disabled. And the code looks something like this. This is my code. Please don't use that. This is only for me, but you will have your own code. So you put it here, and it will basically track your pages. It will automatically insert the code to all template pages, so you will see your page statistics. Likewise, page search. It's all explained here, so you can just read it. This is basically you can create a Google custom search and include that in your page, so that users will be able to search your website using Google. And in such case, you select yes or no if you want to use this feature or not. And if you want to use it, you will have a code. Again, it looks something like this, but you will have your own one from Google. So we can just delete this for now, and it's all explained here. Update check. Okay, update check. We will talk about blocks and plugins later on, but what this is This allows you to, this script basically checks if there are any new versions available for these blocks and plugins that you install on your page. And what it does is it connects to my site, it connects to this site, mediatemplate.com, and here you have the blocks, the plugins, and it will check, it will compare your version to the latest available version, and if there is a new version available, it will show you a notification on your homepage. And at this point, I want to emphasize, this is one of the features that I mentioned when we talked about the way you see your page as an admin. So as a normal user, you will of course not see a notification a new block is available. We don't want our users to see this. But if you log in as an admin, in other words, the page knows that it's you, it will show you those warnings at the top if you enable this. Of course, you can disable it, but even if it's enabled and there's a notification, only you will see it, not your users. So you don't have to worry about this. Desktop and mobile homepage. This I will probably just skip because it's all explained here. The template has two versions of your homepage, or not homepage, sorry, the entire site. One for desktops, one for mobile phones. Now, the reason why it was not possible to make this as one page is because I gave you so many options for customization. There's so many different possible layouts that because I don't know what I'm working with, I can't do this. So it has to have two versions of the site. And here you specify the dimensions of the screen that will be regarded as a desktop or as a mobile phone. Because the thing to note is that the high-end mobile phones will probably be quite okay with displaying the desktop version. And I want to also say that the mobile version is not a full replacement of the desktop. It does not contain all the pages. It does not contain the plugins. It contains the main pages, the ones with your current conditions, some basic statistics, but it's optimized for small screens. And so this should not really be called a mobile homepage. This should be called a small screen homepage. So if even if you're on a mobile phone, you're looking at your page, if your mobile phone has, for example, a full HD screen, then you can just use the desktop and it will display just fine. So it's only if you're using some old small phone with a very small screen, it would probably be the normal version would be extremely small and unusable. So in that case, it would redirect you to the mobile version. And this is just setting up the redirection. So this means what is going to be loaded. So when you enter your site, if I as a user enter your site, this will decide which page I'm going to see. But in the footer, I can always switch from one to the other manually. And if you, for example, want to always have this off, then you just select no here. But again, just read this and set it up. And if you're unsure, just leave it as it is. And we'll talk about further template customization in the next video.